Is Daniel Penny a hero? Is Jordan Neely a victim? People usually answer that question along political and ideological lines. This case highlights the growing catastrophe of public homeless encampments and public drug use. This situation can no longer be ignored by moral grandstanding and virtuous slogans. We see so many viral moments on social media, painful stories of innocent victims being harmed or mentally ill people being treated horribly. We hear all kinds of passionate pleas from activists, from politicians, and everyday people. All this said, we rarely address the harsh reality of this situation. Some progressive policies, though well-intentioned, overlook the harsh and painful realities of severe mental illness, drug addiction, and homelessness. Cases like Jordan Neely and Daniel Penny have again brought this topic to the forefront of public consciousness and have forced us, or have given us the opportunity, to face this or to have a reckoning with this dilemma. It is something we all avoid, and that's why we go to the moral grandstanding. The problem we face is, how do we care for and support people who are struggling severely, maintaining citizens' rights to safe environments, parks, subway cars, malls, sidewalks, etc., while also holding people who are unwell accountable and responsible for their predicament. In this video, we'll explore 3 topics underlying this big situation. The first is the deinstitutionalization of mental health hospitals and how that has led to and shaped the landscape we are currently in. 2, the severe challenge, and that is the reality of actually supporting and caring for people that are this unwell. Something the activists and the politicians who weaponize this topic are so disconnected from and delusional about. The third thing is, what are some potential options moving forward, or what can we actually do about this rather than just point fingers and play the blame game? My name is Mike. This is the Starts With Me channel. I hope you find this video helpful. Just to shed a little insight on me and why this is so important to me, I'm in recovery from addiction, perhaps not severe addiction or a severe substance. I am in recovery. I'm a therapist who works with people in this environment, and I also have vast experience supporting someone who lives with schizophrenia and who also suffers from addiction. I know this problem intimately, and I've worked with people who have also struggled with this and whose families have been devastated by this reality. So I can say I've been there personally, professionally, spiritually, and I'm bringing you that raw, honest, direct, no bullshit perspective. I hope you find this helpful. Okay, topic number 1, the deinstitutionalization of mental health hospitals. In the mid-20th century, 60s and 70s, across the Western world, we saw a huge wave of deinstitutionalization of these hospitals. And really what that meant was, we no longer held people in institutions against their will. Now, still today, if they're a harm to themselves or to the public, then depending on what country you're in, state, etc., there are laws around how much we can force people into care. But the gist of it was, 50 years ago or so, we opened the floodgates, we opened the doors, and governments and politicians claimed that the savings they would make or get, or they would invest in community treatment models and ways of supporting these people that were better, more humane than locking people up because they're mentally ill or struggling with addiction and alcoholism. As they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and that's clearly happened here. And rather than really addressing the problem and putting our energy towards new, innovative ways of supporting people, that money went to waste. People's attention went elsewhere for good reason. As I said, this is incredibly difficult to address. And 50 years later, here we are. Somebody has to restrain a mentally ill lunatic on a train to protect the people on the train, and the tragedy of death occurred here. And that's a horrible outcome. Nobody wants that, obviously. Nobody also wants to be in a situation, which we all are in these large metropolises in the Western world, very often around people who are erratic, who are drug addicts, and who are severely mentally ill. And that's not okay. We need to stop lying to ourselves that it's okay and that it's compassionate. It is not compassionate to allow someone to suffer and to be a harm to themselves and other people. It's ridiculous. And the people who chant that nonsense have no idea what they're talking about. They have not been there. They use it for their own moral grandstanding and their political bullshit that they weaponize it with. If you want to get a bit of insight into this reality, you could check out the very famous movie, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It depicts this institutionalization and the challenges people can face. One last piece I might add from my personal experience, my grandfather had a lobotomy. He was probably one of the last people ever to receive a lobotomy in England in the 1950s. Shortly after that, unfortunately, he ended his life. But that's the reality of all of this. I get it. I know it. I'll shut up about that. And I'll move on to point number 2. The difficulty of caring for people in these situations is insane. Literally, no pun intended. Ask anybody who's tried to help someone struggling with schizophrenia, homelessness, and drug addiction. You can't just offer people a warm place to stay, a bed to sleep in, some food, or give them the drugs they're addicted to. That doesn't do anything. All it does, again, is it feeds our sense of moral superiority and our inability to look at our own shadow and darkness and face the difficult decisions that come in these situations where in some ways we do need to force people into care, or we need to set up situations in which people are not allowed to cause harm to themselves or others in the public space. One of the issues with people who are really mentally ill and perhaps living with schizophrenia is the paranoia, the suspicion, the delusional nature of their illness makes them incredibly suspicious of anyone trying to offer help. Many of these people have also suffered tremendously at the hands of institutions, family members, the police, etc. And I've seen that front row. And it's true. People are treated horribly. They do have horrible experiences. That is the nature of this catastrophe. It is horrible and difficult. Many of these people are too far gone, are too disconnected from reality to make decisions for themselves and to not put others at risk. And those are the people like Jordan Neely who cannot be allowed to roam subway cars in big cities threatening people with violence. The genuine intentions of progressive activists, politicians, perhaps are genuine, honest, who knows, but they're delusional. And this case, again, brings it front and center. The advocating for providing them with these safe injection sites or giving them a place to live, etc., just doesn't cut it. And again, it goes back to people know, or once they try to address these issues, see almost the hopelessness in it all. Therefore, they project the problem outward and they say these statements and they feel good about themselves, but they don't actually do anything to address the problem. I'm not claiming that I have the answer, okay? I can tell you, though, whatever we are doing right now is terrible. It is not helpful. And I actually think it is an affront to humanity. We are not being compassionate by allowing people to be sick, drug addicted, and homeless. The compassionate thing is to hold people responsible for their behavior, to do everything we can to protect the public and to offer people access to care, or to be confined to care so that they aren't a harm to the public. Again, I don't have the answers. This is super duper difficult. What I do know is what we're doing right now is not working. We need to stop pretending that this is easy and that people just need access to homes and money. Topic number 3. If you're, which you're probably not, watching this and you're one of these progressive, virtuous, we just need to provide people with homes and money so they can continue their behavior, go and actually try to help one of these people. Go to a shelter, go to a homeless encampment, go to a mental health hospital, meet somebody and try to help them. See how far you get. See how easy it is. Why don't you invite them into your home? Give them a nice spot on your couch. Love them, show them compassion, sweet words in their ear. See how that goes for you. Document it. Tell me I'm wrong. It is fucking incredibly difficult. You need to stop deluding yourself. And I'm not doing a great job of it in this video right now. I also need to show those type of people compassion who are deluded into thinking it's easy, which is part of why I'm trying to make this video. So what can we do? How do we move forward? I don't actually really know. Again, what I do know is this isn't working. What I do know is we need to stop the moral grandstanding. Also, on the other side, we need to stop pointing fingers at the progressives and the people who came up with this strategy, labeling them as idiots and woke, whatever, lunatics, blah, 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 blah. That doesn't help either. That also really aggravates me about the other side of this argument, who plays the same game, thinks that they're better and morally superior. And if the world just went along, or if people just did things the way they thought it should be done, that it would be easy. Nobody has the answers here. But we do need to shift back to a bit more of perhaps more consequences, accountability, and more value on keeping public spaces safe and secure for citizens. We really do need to set aside our ideologies, our biases, conservatives, liberals, progressives, libertarians, whoever you are. Can you let go of your own ideology? Take a deep breath, see how difficult this is, and try to come up with some hypotheses, some answers, some solutions from a little bit of an unbiased perspective. I think that's where we can start. We can talk about these things. If it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't go anywhere, but the status quo is not working. We must stop this madness. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Do you have any experience with this? I hope you found this helpful. Please like this video. Share with someone else who might find it helpful. Consider subscribing to this channel. I wish you all the best. Take it easy. Peace out. I am very grateful that you watched to the end of this video. Please click one of the boxes to watch more of our content, and otherwise have a great day. Peace out.